A cosmic storm is brewing, and it's closer than you think. Something monumental has already begun to stir the fabric of your reality. In April 2025, an unseen celestial alignment slipped into place, a convergence so subtle yet so powerful that it's already sending shockwaves through your life. Have you felt it? That strange heaviness in your chest, the sleepless nights, or the unshakable feeling that something massive is about to unfold. This isn't just another astrological event. It's a cosmic wake-up call, and if you're not paying attention, you might miss the chance to transform your entire existence. Mercury, the planet of thought and communication, has turned retrograde and aligned with the North Node in the mystical realm of Pisces, a force that's quietly redirecting your soul's journey. This alignment isn't loud. It doesn't come with flashing lights or cosmic fanfare. Instead, it's a whisper in the universe, one that most people will overlook. But for those who are awake, who feel the subtle tremors of change, this moment is a gateway to something extraordinary. You might already be experiencing its effects without realizing it. Maybe your thoughts are racing, your body feels drained, or you've been waking up with a sense of unease. Have you noticed these strange symptoms lately? A pounding headache that won't quit, a sudden wave of anxiety, or even vivid dreams that leave you questioning reality. These aren't coincidences. They're your soul's response to this cosmic shift, urging you to tune in before it's too late. In this video, we're diving deep into what this alignment means for you, why it's more critical than you might think, and how it could be the key to unlocking a life-altering transformation. This isn't about waiting for the universe to hand you answers. It's about acting now, listening to the signs, and stepping into the unknown with courage. The universe is speaking, but are you ready to listen? If you're feeling this energy, if you're ready to embrace this cosmic turning point, then drop a comment below and share what symptoms you've been noticing. Let's connect and uncover this mystery together. Before we go further, I need your help to spread this urgent message. We're on a mission to reach 1,000 subscribers so we can keep bringing you these cosmic insights. If you're ready to stay ahead of these shifts, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and join our community with a heartfelt super thanks. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll see why this quiet alignment could be the most dramatic plot twist of your year, and it's already unfolding. Are you ready to face what's coming? Let's unravel this cosmic mystery together, because the alignment of Mercury retrograde and the North Node in Pisces is no small event. It's a seismic shift that's already altering the course of your life. You might not see it yet, but beneath the surface, the universe is orchestrating a transformation that could either propel you forward or leave you stuck in cycles of the past. Have you ever felt like the universe is trying to get your attention, but you're too distracted to notice? That's what's happening right now. Mercury retrograde, known for its chaos, is more than just a planetary inconvenience. It's a cosmic alarm bell ringing in your soul. What if the frustrations you're feeling, the missed calls, the delayed plans, the arguments, are not random at all, but urgent messages from the universe, begging you to wake up? This isn't a time to ignore the signs. It's a time to act, to listen, and to realign with your true path. When Mercury, the ruler of communication, thought, and intellect, appears to move backward in the sky, it doesn't just disrupt your emails or delay your flights. It's a signal to slow down, reflect, and realign. But this retrograde, in April 2025, is different. It's not just about the usual annoyances. It's a spiritual reckoning, a moment where the universe is demanding your attention. You might be feeling this in your body right now. Tightness in your shoulders that won't ease, a racing heartbeat that keeps you up at night, or a fog that clouds your every thought, making even simple decisions feel impossible. Perhaps you've lost your keys for the third time this week, or a conversation with a loved one spiraled into a misunderstanding that left you reeling. These aren't random annoyances. They're the universe's way of shaking you awake, demanding that you pay attention to what's really going on. Mercury retrograde is an invitation to pause, to revisit the choices you've made in your life, and to ask yourself a critical question. Are you truly on the path you're meant to follow? Or have you been drifting, caught in routines that no longer serve you? Let's explore this further. What does this disruption feel like in your day-to-day life? Maybe you've noticed that your phone keeps glitching at the worst possible moments, dropping calls just when you need to hear someone's voice, or your laptop crashes right before a deadline. leaving you scrambling. Perhaps you've been trying to make travel plans, but every flight you book gets delayed, or your car breaks down unexpectedly, leaving you stranded. These are the classic hallmarks of Mercury retrograde, but they're not just inconveniences. They're cosmic red flags, urging you to slow down and look deeper. What if these disruptions are protecting you from moving too quickly down a path that's not meant for you? What if that delayed flight saved you from a decision you weren't ready to make, or that argument with a friend revealed a truth you've been avoiding? The universe is speaking through these moments of chaos, and it's up to you to listen. Now, let's talk about the physical and emotional toll this retrograde might be taking on you. Have you been feeling more tired than usual, as if your body is carrying a weight you can't explain? Maybe you're waking up in the middle of the night, your mind racing with thoughts you can't quiet, or you're experiencing headaches that come out of nowhere, throbbing at your temples like a drumbeat you can't ignore. Perhaps your stomach feels unsettled, a knot of anxiety that won't unravel, or your hands tremble slightly when you're trying to focus. These symptoms aren't random. They're your body's response to the energetic shift happening right now. Mercury retrograde is stirring up the energy around you, and your physical form is reacting to the intensity of this cosmic alignment. What if these sensations are your soul's way of telling you that something needs to change? What if the exhaustion you're feeling isn't just physical tiredness, but a deeper fatigue, a sign that your soul is begging for a shift, for a release, for a new direction? Let's dive even deeper into the spiritual significance of this moment. Mercury retrograde isn't a punishment. It's a cosmic detox, a chance to purge the emotional and mental clutter that's been weighing you down for far too long. Think about the patterns in your life that keep repeating, the cycles you can't seem to break free from. Maybe you've been stuck in a job that drains your energy, leaving you feeling empty at the end of each day, or a relationship that no longer feels aligned with who you are, but you're too afraid to let go. Perhaps you've been holding on to old fears, fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown, that keep you playing small, even though you know deep down you're meant for more. Mercury retrograde is holding up a mirror to these parts of your life, forcing you to face what you've been avoiding. It's uncomfortable, yes, but it's also a gift, a chance to release what no longer serves your highest good. What if the frustration you're feeling right now is the universe's way of pushing you to finally let go of what's been holding you back? This period is a spiritual cleansing, a spring cleaning for your soul, and it's happening whether you're ready or not. Old wounds, buried regrets, and forgotten dreams are rising to the surface, demanding to be acknowledged and healed. You might find yourself overwhelmed by emotions you can't quite explain, sudden tears that come out of nowhere while you're driving to work, a longing for something you can't name that keeps you awake at night, or a memory from your past that keeps replaying in your mind, vivid and unshakable. Maybe you're thinking about a moment from your childhood when you felt truly free, before the weight of the world settled on your shoulders, or a relationship that ended in heartbreak, leaving scars you thought you'd healed. These are your soul's whispers, urging you to let go of the pain you've been carrying, to release the emotional baggage that's been slowing you down. What if this retrograde is your chance to finally heal those wounds, to set yourself free from the past so you can step into the future unencumbered? Mercury retrograde also invites you to practice forgiveness. Forgiveness of yourself, forgiveness of others, forgiveness of the universe for the challenges you've faced. What grudges are you holding on to that are keeping you tethered to the past? Maybe you're still angry at a friend who betrayed you years ago, or you're harboring resentment toward a family member who never understood you. Perhaps you're hardest on yourself, replaying mistakes you've made, decisions you regret, opportunities you missed, words you wish you could take back. This retrograde is asking you to let go of that weight, to forgive not because others deserve it, but because you deserve to be free. Imagine what it would feel like to release that burden, to feel light again, to move forward without the chains of resentment holding you back. What if forgiveness is the key to unlocking the transformation this retrograde is offering you? Let's consider how this retrograde might be affecting your relationships, your work, your daily routines. Have you noticed that conversations with loved ones are more strained than usual, that misunderstandings seem to happen more frequently? Maybe you said something in the heat of the moment that you didn't mean, and now there's tension where there used to be ease, or a colleague misinterpreted an email, leading to a conflict that's left you stressed. At work, Perhaps projects you've been working on are hitting unexpected roadblocks. Clients aren't responding, deadlines are slipping, or technology keeps failing at the worst possible moments. Even your daily routines might feel off. You overslept and missed an important meeting, or you forgot to pay a bill, adding more stress to your plate. These disruptions can feel overwhelming. But what if they're happening for a reason? What if the universe is using this chaos to redirect your energy, to show you where you've been out of alignment, to guide you back to your true path? Let's take a moment to explore some practical ways you can navigate this retrograde energy, because while the universe is sending you messages, it's also giving you tools to work with them. First, slow down, literally. If you're feeling overwhelmed by the chaos, give yourself permission to pause. Cancel unnecessary plans. Take a day off if you can, and create space to breathe. When you're rushing, you're more likely to miss the subtle signs the universe is sending you. But when you slow down, you create room for clarity. Try writing down your thoughts in a journal. Don't worry about making sense. Just let the words flow. You might be surprised at the insights that emerge when you give your mind a chance to process. What if the answers you've been searching for are already within you, waiting for a quiet moment to surface? Another powerful practice during Mercury retrograde is to double-check everything. Since communication and technology are prone to glitches, take extra care with your words and actions. Before sending an important email, read it twice. Better yet, save it as a draft and revisit it later. If you're traveling, confirm your plans ahead of time and give yourself extra time to get where you're going. These small steps can help you avoid some of the retrograde's pitfalls, but they also teach you patience, a lesson that's at the heart of this cosmic event. Mercury retrograde is a time to trust the timing of the universe, to accept that delays and detours might be guiding you towards something better. What if that missed flight or canceled meeting is actually a blessing in disguise, redirecting you toward an opportunity you wouldn't have otherwise seen? Let's also talk about the energetic impact of this retrograde on your environment. Have you noticed that the energy around you feels heavier, more chaotic? Maybe you've walked into a room and felt an inexplicable tension, or you've been more sensitive to noise, lights, or crowds than usual. This retrograde is amplifying the energy in your surroundings, making you more attuned to the vibrations of the people and places around you. If you're feeling overwhelmed, try creating a sanctuary for yourself, a quiet space where you can retreat and recharge. Light a candle, play soft music, or surround yourself with calming scents like lavender or sage. These small acts can help you ground yourself amidst the storm, allowing you to tune into the deeper messages the universe is sending. What if the chaos around you is actually a reflection of the inner work you're being called to do? Let's explore the emotional layers of this retrograde further, because Mercury isn't just affecting your mind, it's stirring your heart as well. You might find yourself feeling more emotional than usual, more vulnerable, more raw. Maybe you're crying over things that wouldn't normally bother you. A sad song on the radio, a memory of a loved one, a kind word from a stranger. Perhaps you're feeling a deep sense of nostalgia, longing for a time when life felt simpler, or you're grappling with a sense of loss for dreams you've let go of. These emotions are part of the retrograde's cleansing process, bringing to the surface what's been buried so you can heal it. What if these tears are a release, a way for your soul to let go of pain you've been holding onto for too long? Let's also consider the dreams you might be having during this time, because Mercury retrograde often heightens our connection to the subconscious. Have you been having vivid dreams lately? Dreams that feel so real you wake up disoriented, unsure of what's reality and what's not? Maybe you dreamed of a place you've never been, a house by the ocean with windows that let in golden light, or a forest where the trees whispered secrets you couldn't quite hear. Perhaps you dreamed of a person from your past, someone you haven't thought of in years, and woke up with their name on your lips. These dreams aren't random. They're messages from your subconscious, amplified by the retrograde's energy. Try keeping a dream journal by your bed, and write down what you see as soon as you wake up. What symbols or themes keep appearing? What might your subconscious be trying to tell you? Let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. Why is this retrograde happening now, in April 2025, and what does it mean for your soul's journey? Mercury retrograde is a cyclical event, happening 3 to 4 times a year, but this particular retrograde is unique because of its alignment with the North Node in Pisces, which we'll explore next. For now, understand that this retrograde is a cosmic checkpoint, a moment for you to pause and assess where you are in your life. Are you living in alignment with your true self, or have you been following a path that's been shaped by fear, expectation, or obligation? What if this retrograde is your chance to course correct, to realign with your soul's purpose before the next chapter of your journey begins? Let's also explore the synchronicities you might be noticing during this time, because Mercury retrograde often brings these meaningful coincidences into sharp focus. Have you been seeing repeating numbers like 111, 222, or 333 on clocks, license plates, or receipts? Maybe you've been thinking of someone you haven't spoken to in years, and then they call you out of the blue, or you hear a song on the radio that reminds you of a pivotal moment in your life, right when you needed a sign. These synchronicities are the universe's way of getting your attention, of confirming that you're on the right path, or that you need to change direction. What signs have you been noticing lately? What might they be trying to tell you? Let's talk about how this retrograde might be affecting your creativity, because Mercury rules the mind, and its retrograde motion can either stifle or spark your creative energy. Maybe you've been feeling stuck, unable to come up with new ideas, or you've been second-guessing every creative project you start. Perhaps you're a writer who can't get past the first page, an artist who stares at a blank canvas, or a musician who can't find the right melody. But what if this creative block is actually an invitation to go deeper, to tap into the emotions and experiences that this retrograde is bringing up? Try creating without judgment. Write a poem about your fears, paint the emotions you can't name, or play music that reflects the chaos you're feeling. What if this retrograde is unlocking a new level of creativity within you? If only you'd let go of perfectionism. Let's also consider the impact of this retrograde on your physical health, because the mind-body connection is powerful and Mercury retrograde can manifest in ways you might not expect. Have you been feeling more clumsy than usual, tripping over things, or dropping objects more often? Maybe you've been experiencing tension in your jaw, grinding your teeth at night, or your digestion has been off, leaving you bloated or nauseous. These physical symptoms are tied to the energetic shifts happening right now, and they're a reminder to take care of your body as well as your mind. Try incorporating gentle movement into your day, a walk in nature, a yoga session, or even just stretching in the morning. What if nurturing your body is the key to navigating this retrograde with more ease? Finally, let's reflect on the urgency of this moment, because Mercury retrograde isn't just a time to reflect, it's a time to act. The disruptions you're experiencing, the emotions you're feeling, the signs you're noticing, they're all pointing you toward a deeper truth, a truth that can't be ignored. What if this retrograde is the universe's way of preparing you for a major shift, a transformation that's just around the corner? What if the chaos you're experiencing now is the foundation for a breakthrough that will change your life forever? Don't wait for the perfect moment to listen to these messages. Act now, reflect now, heal now. The universe is waiting for you to step up. Are you ready to answer the call? Now, let's talk about the North Node in Pisces, a celestial compass that's guiding this entire process with a gentle but unyielding force. The North Node isn't just a point in the sky. It's your soul's North Star, a cosmic marker that points you toward your highest purpose, your destiny, the path you were born to walk in this lifetime. It's not about comfort or ease. It's about growth, expansion, and stepping into the unknown, even when it feels terrifying. The North Node challenges you to leave behind the familiar, to let go of old habits, patterns, and beliefs that have kept you small, and to embrace the qualities and experiences that will help you evolve. And in Pisces, this energy becomes even more profound, more mystical, more transformative. Pisces, the final sign of the zodiac, is a realm of intuition, emotion, and spiritual connection, a watery, ethereal energy that dissolves boundaries and invites you into the unseen. What if the answers you've been searching for aren't in your mind, but in your heart, in your soul, in the quiet whispers of the universe that you've been too afraid to trust? Let's explore what Pisces brings to this alignment, because its energy is the key to understanding the North Node's message. Pisces is the dreamer, the mystic, the poet of the zodiac, a sign that lives in the space between worlds, the physical and the spiritual, the conscious and the subconscious, the known and the unknown. It's a water sign, deeply intuitive, deeply emotional, and deeply connected to the collective unconscious, the shared energy that binds us all. Pisces governs the things we feel but can't always explain, the gut feelings that guide us when logic fails, the dreams that linger long after we wake, the synchronicities that seem too perfect to be coincidence. Pisces is about surrender, about letting go of the need to control every outcome, about trusting the flow of life even when you can't see where it's leading. What if this alignment is asking you to stop fighting the current, to let go of your need for certainty, and to dive into the unknown with faith that the universe will catch you? The North Node in Pisces is calling you to grow through compassion, creativity, and emotional wisdom, to evolve in ways that honor your spiritual self rather than your material ambitions. It's not about chasing success, power, or recognition. It's about deepening your connection to yourself, to others, and to the universe. Have you been ignoring your intuition, dismissing your gut feelings as irrational or impractical? Maybe you've been so focused on logic, on planning, on doing things the right way, that you've silenced the quiet voice within you that knows what's true. The North Node in Pisces is asking you to listen to that voice, to trust it, to let it guide you. What if your intuition is the compass you've been searching for, the one that can lead you to a life that feels authentic, aligned, and deeply fulfilling? Let's talk about the healing potential of this energy, because Pisces is a sign of profound transformation, a sign that invites you to release the pain, the trauma, the emotional baggage you've been carrying for far too long. Maybe you've been holding on to hurt from your past, a betrayal that still stings, a loss that left you broken, a failure that made you doubt your worth. Perhaps you've been carrying shame, guilt, or fear, emotions that weigh you down like stones in your pockets, keeping you from moving forward. The North Node in Pisces is here to help you let go, to dissolve those heavy energies, to create space for something new. What if this alignment is your chance to finally heal those wounds, to forgive the past, both others and yourself, and to step into a lighter, freer version of who you are? Let's explore how this healing might manifest in your life, because the North Node in Pisces doesn't just ask you to heal, it shows you how. You might find yourself drawn to practices that connect you to your spiritual side, practices that help you release what's been holding you back. Maybe you've been feeling called to meditate, to sit in silence and listen to the rhythm of your breath, letting your thoughts drift like clouds across the sky. Perhaps you've been curious about energy healing, like Reiki or sound baths, where the vibrations of sound or touch help you release stuck emotions. Or maybe you're finding solace in creative outlets, writing poetry that captures the ache in your heart, painting colors that express what words can't, or dancing to music that moves your soul. What if these practices are the tools the universe is offering you, the keys to unlocking the healing you've been craving? Let's also consider the emotional depth that Pisces brings to this alignment, because this sign is all about feeling deeply, feeling fully, feeling in ways that can be both overwhelming and liberating. You might be noticing that your emotions are more intense than usual, that you're more sensitive to the energy around you. Maybe you're crying more easily, moved to tears by a beautiful sunset, a kind word, or a memory that catches you off guard. Perhaps you're feeling a deep sense of empathy, picking up on the emotions of others in a way that feels almost psychic. You walk into a room and immediately sense the tension, or you feel a friend's sadness before they even say a word. This heightened sensitivity is a gift, a sign that you're tuning into the Piscean energy of this alignment, but it can also be challenging. What if this emotional intensity is an invitation to deepen your connection to yourself, to learn how to feel without being consumed, to use your empathy as a tool for healing rather than a source of overwhelm? Let's talk about the role of creativity in this process, because Pisces is a deeply creative sign, and the North Node in Pisces is asking you to tap into that energy as a path to growth. Have you been feeling a pull to create, to express yourself in ways you haven't before? Maybe you've been dreaming of starting a project, writing a novel, learning to play an instrument, or designing a garden, but you've held back, afraid that you're not good enough, that you'll fail, that no one will care. The North Node in Pisces is here to remind you that creativity isn't about perfection. It's about expression, about channeling your emotions, your dreams, your soul into something tangible. What if this alignment is your chance to rediscover your creative spark, to reconnect with the part of you that longs to create beauty, to share your unique voice with the world. Let's explore the spiritual practices that can help you connect with this Piscean energy, because the North Node in Pisces isn't just about feeling. It's about acting on those feelings, about using them to grow. One powerful practice is to work with water, since Pisces is a water sign. Try taking a ritual bath, adding sea salt or essential oils like lavender to the water, and imagining that as you soak, you're washing away the emotional residue of the past. Or spend time near a body of water, a lake, a river, an ocean, and let the sound of the waves or the stillness of the surface calm your mind and open your heart. Another practice is to connect with your dreams, since Pisces rules the dream world. Keep a dream journal by your bed and write down what you see each morning. What symbols, images, or emotions stand out? What might your dreams be trying to tell you about your soul's journey? Let's also consider the role of compassion in this alignment, because the North Node in Pisces is asking you to grow through compassion for yourself, for others, for the world. Have you been hard on yourself lately, judging yourself for mistakes, for not being where you think you should be? Maybe you've been critical of others, quick to anger or frustration when they don't meet your expectations. Pisces energy invites you to soften, to approach yourself and others with kindness, to see the humanity in everyone, even when it's hard. What if compassion is the key to unlocking the growth this alignment is offering you? What if by forgiving yourself, by forgiving others, you create space for deeper connections, for healing, for love? Let's talk about the surrender that Pisces demands, because this sign is all about letting go of control, about trusting the process even when you can't see the outcome. Have you been trying to control every aspect of your life, planning every step, forcing outcomes that aren't ready to unfold? Maybe you've been pushing yourself to make a decision about a relationship, a career move, a life change, because you feel like you need to have it all figured out. The North Node in Pisces is asking you to release that need for control, to surrender to the flow of life, to trust that the universe has a plan for you, even if you can't see it yet. What if surrender isn't weakness, but strength? What if by letting go, you allow the universe to guide you to a path that's more aligned with your soul's purpose? Let's explore the mystical side of Pisces further, because this sign is deeply connected to the unseen, to the spiritual, to the things that exist beyond the physical world. You might be noticing an increased sensitivity to energy, a feeling that there's more going on than meets the eye. Maybe you've been seeing signs, feathers on your path, a specific number like 777 appearing everywhere, or a song that plays at just the right moment, carrying a message you needed to hear. Perhaps you've been feeling a pull to explore spiritual practices you've never tried before, tarot cards, astrology, or meditation. The North Node in Pisces is inviting you to dive into these mysteries, to connect with the unseen world, to trust that there's wisdom in the things you can't explain. What if this alignment is awakening a spiritual gift within you, a gift that's been waiting for the right moment to emerge? Let's also talk about the collective energy of Pisces, because this sign is not just about your personal growth. It's about your connection to the collective, to humanity, to the world. Have you been feeling a deep sense of empathy for others lately, a desire to help, to heal, to make a difference? Maybe you've been moved by stories of struggle, news about a natural disaster, a friend's personal loss, a stranger's act of kindness, and felt a pull to contribute, to offer support, to be a light in the darkness. The North Node in Pisces is asking you to step into this role, to use your compassion, your creativity, your intuition to make the world a better place. What if your growth isn't just about you, but about the impact you can have on others? What if this alignment is calling you to be a healer, a guide, a beacon for those who are lost? Let's consider how this energy might be affecting your relationships, because Pisces is a sign of connection, and the North Node in Pisces is asking you to deepen your relationships in meaningful ways. Have you been feeling a pull to reach out to someone you love, to have a heart-to-heart conversation, to share your true feelings? Maybe you've been noticing tension in a relationship, a friend who's been distant, a partner who's been withdrawn, and you're being called to address it with compassion rather than judgment. Perhaps you're feeling a desire to connect with new people, to find a community that shares your spiritual values, to surround yourself with those who lift you up. What if this alignment is an opportunity to strengthen your relationships, to build bonds that are rooted in authenticity, empathy, and love? Let's also explore the dreams and visions that Pisces energy might be bringing to the surface, because this sign is deeply connected to the imagination, to the world of possibilities. Have you been having daydreams lately? Visions of a life that feels more aligned with who you are? Maybe you've been imagining yourself living in a new place, a cottage by the sea, a cabin in the mountains, where you feel free to be your true self. Perhaps you've been dreaming of a new career, one that allows you to express your creativity, to help others, to make a difference. The North Node in Pisces is asking you to take these dreams seriously, to see them not as fantasies, but as glimpses of your future, as possibilities that can become reality if you're willing to take a leap of faith. What if your dreams are a map, guiding you toward the life you're meant to live? Let's talk about the challenges of this energy, because while Pisces is beautiful, it can also be overwhelming. This sign is known for its sensitivity, its tendency to feel everything deeply, and that can leave you feeling vulnerable, exposed, even lost. You might be struggling with boundaries right now, taking on the emotions of others as if they were your own, or feeling overwhelmed by the weight of the world's pain. Maybe you're escaping into distractions, binge-watching shows, scrolling endlessly on social media, or numbing yourself with food or alcohol, because the intensity of this energy feels like too much to handle. The North Node in Pisces is asking you to face these challenges with courage, to set healthy boundaries, to find ways to ground yourself so you can harness this energy rather than be consumed by it. What if the overwhelm you're feeling is a sign that you're growing, that you're stepping into a new level of awareness, of sensitivity, of power? Let's explore some practical ways to work with this Piscean energy, because while the North Node in Pisces is spiritual, it also offers tangible tools for growth. One powerful practice is to connect with your intuition through meditation. Find a quiet space, close your eyes, and focus on your breath, letting your mind settle. Ask yourself a question: what do I need to release? What is my next step? And listen for the answer, which might come as a feeling, an image, or a quiet knowing. Another practice is to spend time in nature, especially near water, which resonates with Pisces energy. Sit by a lake, dip your toes in a stream, or simply listen to the sound of rain, letting it wash away your stress. What if these simple acts are the key to unlocking the wisdom this alignment is offering you? Let's also consider the role of forgiveness in this process, because Pisces is a sign of healing, and healing often requires letting go of the past. Have you been holding on to resentment, anger, or pain that's keeping you stuck? Maybe you're still hurt by a friend who let you down, a parent who didn't show up for you, or a partner who broke your heart. Perhaps you're carrying guilt for your own mistakes, for the times you didn't show up as your best self. The North Node in Pisces is asking you to forgive, not to excuse what happened, but to free yourself from the weight of it. Imagine what it would feel like to let go of that pain, to feel light, to move forward with an open heart. What if forgiveness is the doorway to the transformation you've been seeking? Let's talk about the collective healing that Pisces energy invites, because this sign is not just about your personal journey. It's about the world's journey, too. Have you been feeling a pull to contribute to something bigger than yourself, to help those who are suffering, to make a difference in your community? Maybe you've been inspired to volunteer, to donate to a cause, or to simply offer a kind word to someone who needs it. The North Node in Pisces is asking you to step into this role, to use your gifts, your compassion, your creativity, your intuition, to heal the world around you. What if your growth is part of a larger tapestry, a collective awakening that's happening right now? What if you're being called to be a light in the darkness, a guide for others who are struggling? Let's explore the synchronicities and signs you might be noticing, because Pisces energy often speaks through symbols, through the language of the universe. Have you been seeing repeating numbers, like 1111 or 555, everywhere you look? Maybe you've been noticing animals, a white dove that keeps appearing in your yard, a butterfly that lands on your window, a wolf that shows up in your dreams. Perhaps you've been hearing the same message over and over, in songs, in conversations, in the pages of a book you randomly opened. These signs are not random. They're the universe's way of guiding you, of confirming that you're on the right path. What signs have you been seeing lately? What might they be trying to tell you about your journey? Let's also talk about the dreams you might be having, because Pisces rules the dream world, and the North Node in Pisces is amplifying your connection to this realm. Have you been having vivid dreams lately? Dreams that feel more real than reality itself? Maybe you dreamed of swimming in an endless ocean, the water warm and glowing with light, or of walking through a forest where the trees whispered your name. Perhaps you dreamed of a loved one who's passed on, their presence so vivid that you woke up feeling their touch, or of a future version of yourself, living a life that feels both unfamiliar and deeply familiar. These dreams are messages from your soul, from the universe, offering guidance, insight, and healing. What have you been dreaming about? What wisdom might your dreams be trying to share? Let's consider the challenges of surrender, because while Pisces energy is beautiful, it can also be disorienting. Surrendering control, trusting the unknown, letting go of the need for certainty. These are not easy tasks, especially in a world that values logic, planning, and structure. You might be feeling lost right now, unsure of where you're going, afraid to take a leap of faith. Maybe you're resisting this energy, clinging to old habits, old beliefs, old ways of being, because they feel safe, even if they're not serving you. The North Node in Pisces is asking you to release that resistance, to trust that the universe has a plan for you, even if you can't see it yet. What if the unknown isn't something to fear, but something to embrace? What if by surrendering, you open the door to a life that's more magical, more aligned, more true than anything you could have planned? Finally, let's reflect on the urgency of this moment, because the North Node in Pisces isn't just a suggestion, it's a call to action, a cosmic imperative that you can't ignore. This alignment is happening now, in April 2025, for a reason, and it's asking you to step up, to grow, to evolve. What if this is your chance to finally break free from the cycles that have held you back, to heal the wounds that have kept you small, to step into the life you were always meant to live? Don't wait for the perfect moment to act. The perfect moment is now. Listen to your intuition, trust your heart, and take a leap of faith. The universe is waiting for you to say yes to your destiny. Are you ready to answer the call? This alignment of Mercury Retrograde and the North Node in Pisces isn't just a cosmic event. It's a wake-up call for your intuition, a moment where the universe is turning up the volume on your inner voice, urging you to listen. You might be feeling disoriented right now, like your mind is a maze you can't escape, a labyrinth of thoughts that twist and turn without leading anywhere. Maybe you're forgetting things more often than usual, your keys, your appointments, even what you were about to say mid-sentence. Or you keep zoning out in the middle of conversations, your mind drifting to places you can't quite grasp. Your body might feel off too, shaky hands that spill your coffee, a racing pulse that makes your chest tight, or a tightness in your throat that makes it hard to speak. These aren't signs of failure, of dysfunction, of something being wrong with you. They're signs of transformation, of a cosmic recalibration that's happening within you. The universe is rebooting your system, clearing out old patterns, old ways of thinking, to make room for new wisdom, new insights, new ways of being. What if this fog, this disorientation, isn't a barrier, but a doorway, a portal to clarity, to truth, to a deeper understanding of yourself and your path? Let's explore this mental fog further, because it's one of the most common effects of Mercury retrograde, and it's happening for a reason. Have you been struggling to focus lately? Your thoughts slipping through your fingers like sand? Maybe you're trying to work on a project, but your mind keeps wandering, or you're reading a book, but the words blur together, refusing to make sense. Perhaps you're feeling scattered, jumping from one task to another without finishing anything, or you're second-guessing every decision, unable to trust your own judgment. This fog can be frustrating, even maddening, but what if it's not a problem to be fixed, but a process to be embraced? What if this disorientation is the universe's way of slowing you down, of forcing you to disconnect from the noise of the world, the endless to-do lists, the constant notifications, the pressure to always be on, so you can reconnect with your inner voice, the part of you that knows what's true, what's right, what's next? Let's talk about the physical symptoms that might be accompanying this mental fog, because Mercury retrograde doesn't just affect your mind, it affects your body, too. Have you been feeling more tired than usual, as if no amount of sleep can recharge you? Maybe you're waking up with a headache that lingers all day, a dull ache behind your eyes that makes it hard to focus, or you're experiencing dizziness, a lightheadedness that makes you feel unsteady on your feet. Perhaps your appetite has changed. You're either ravenous, craving comfort foods like warm soup or chocolate, or you have no appetite at all, your stomach too knotted to eat. These physical sensations are tied to the energetic shifts happening right now, and they're a reminder that transformation isn't just mental or spiritual, it's physical too. What if these symptoms are your body's way of telling you to slow down, to rest, to listen to what it needs during this intense cosmic shift? Let's explore the spiritual purpose of this fog, because while it might feel like a nuisance, it's actually a gift, a sacred pause, a moment of stillness in a world that's always moving too fast. This mental fog has a purpose. It's spiritual, not just logistical. It's the universe's way of slowing you down, of creating space for your intuition to rise to the surface. When your mind is quiet, when the constant chatter of logic and reason fades, your deeper self has a chance to speak. You might notice that in these moments of fog, you're having sudden insights, flashes of clarity that come out of nowhere, a solution to a problem you've been wrestling with, a memory that holds a lesson, a feeling that guides you toward a decision. What if this fog is actually clearing the way for something new, for a deeper wisdom that's been waiting to emerge? Let's talk about how to navigate this fog, because while it's a natural part of this alignment, there are ways to work with it, to harness its energy rather than fight against it. Instead of pushing for clarity, instead of forcing your mind to focus when it's not ready, try leaning into the stillness. Give yourself permission to rest, to let go of the need to be productive every second of the day. One powerful practice is to journal your thoughts, even the messy, scattered ones. Sit down with a notebook and write whatever comes to mind. Don't judge, don't edit, just let the words flow. You might be surprised at the wisdom that emerges when you give your mind a chance to speak freely. Another practice is to meditate, even for just 5 minutes a day. Find a quiet space, close your eyes, and focus on your breath, letting your thoughts drift without attachment. What if these simple acts, journaling, meditating, resting, are the keys to unlocking the messages the universe is sending you? Let's also consider the role of intuition in this process, because Mercury Retrograde and the North Node in Pisces are amplifying your intuitive abilities, turning up the volume on your inner guidance system. Have you been having gut feelings lately? Hunches that you can't explain, but that feel undeniably true? Maybe you've had a sudden urge to call someone, to change your plans, to take a different route home, and later realize that your instincts saved you from a difficult situation. Perhaps you've been feeling a pull towards something new, a new hobby, a new relationship, a new path, but you're hesitant to trust it, afraid it doesn't make sense. The North Node in Pisces is asking you to trust those feelings, to honor your intuition as a sacred tool, a compass that can guide you through the fog. What if your intuition is the light you've been searching for, the one that can lead you out of the darkness and into clarity? Let's explore the signs and symbols you might be noticing, because Pisces energy speaks in a language of its own, a language of symbols, dreams, and synchronicities. You might be seeing repeating numbers, like 444 or 888, on clocks, receipts, or license plates, numbers that seem to follow you wherever you go. Maybe you've been noticing animals, a black cat that crosses your path, a hawk that circles overhead, a butterfly that lands on your hand, each one carrying a message if you're willing to listen. Perhaps you've been hearing the same phrase over and over in conversations, in songs, in the pages of a book, a phrase that feels like a clue, a breadcrumb leading you towards something important. These signs are not coincidences. They're the universe's way of communicating with you, of guiding you through the fog. What signs have you been seeing lately? What might they be trying to tell you about your path? Let's talk about the dreams you might be having, because Pisces rules the dream world, and Mercury Retrograde is amplifying your connection to this realm. Have you been having vivid dreams lately? Dreams that feel more real than your waking life? Maybe you dreamed of flying over a city, the lights sparkling below like stars, or of diving into a deep, dark ocean, the water cool and endless around you. Perhaps you dreamed of a loved one who's passed on, their voice so clear you woke up feeling their presence, or of a stranger who felt familiar, someone who handed you a key, a book, a flower, before disappearing. These dreams are messages from your subconscious, from your higher self, from the universe itself, offering guidance, insight, and healing. Try keeping a dream journal by your bed, and write down what you see each morning, paying attention to the symbols, the emotions, the themes. What have you been dreaming about? What wisdom might your dreams be trying to share? Let's also explore the emotional impact of this alignment, because Pisces energy is deeply emotional, and Mercury retrograde is stirring up feelings that might feel overwhelming. You might be feeling more sensitive than usual, more vulnerable, more raw. Maybe you're crying over things that wouldn't normally affect you. A commercial on TV, a memory of a childhood pet, a stranger's smile. Perhaps you're feeling a deep sense of longing, a yearning for something you can't name, a connection, a purpose, a home. These emotions are part of the transformation process, part of the clearing that's happening within you. What if these feelings are a sign that you're healing, that you're releasing what no longer serves you, that you're making space for something new? Let's consider the synchronicities you might be noticing, because Mercury retrograde and the North Node in Pisces are amplifying these meaningful coincidences, making them impossible to ignore. Have you been thinking of someone you haven't spoken to in years, only to have them reach out the next day? Maybe you've been questioning a decision, and then you hear a song on the radio that seems to answer your question, or you open a book to a random page and find a passage that speaks directly to your heart. These synchronicities are the universe's way of confirming that you're on the right path, of guiding you through the fog with gentle nudges and whispers. What synchronicities have you been noticing? What might they be trying to tell you about your journey? Let's talk about the physical practices that can help you connect with your intuition, because while this alignment is spiritual, it also offers tangible tools for growth. One powerful practice is to ground yourself through movement. Go for a walk in nature, feeling the earth beneath your feet, or practice yoga, letting your body stretch and release the tension it's been holding. Another practice is to work with crystals, which can help you tune into your intuitive energy. Try holding a piece of amethyst, a stone associated with Pisces and intuition, and see if it helps you feel more connected to your inner voice. What if these physical practices are the bridge between the spiritual and the practical, the key to unlocking the guidance this alignment is offering you? Let's also explore the challenges of trusting your intuition, because while it's a powerful tool, it can also be scary to rely on something that doesn't always make logical sense. You might be second-guessing yourself, wondering if your gut feelings are real or just wishful thinking. Maybe you've trusted your intuition in the past, and it led you astray, leaving you hesitant to trust it again. The North Node in Pisces is asking you to push past that fear, to trust that your intuition is being amplified right now, that it's guiding you toward your highest good. What if your intuition is the voice of your soul, the voice of the universe, speaking through you? What if by trusting it, you unlock a new level of clarity, of purpose, of power? Let's consider the role of stillness in this process, because Mercury retrograde and the North Node in Pisces are asking you to slow down, to create space for your intuition to speak. Have you been rushing through your days, filling every moment with activity, with noise, with distractions? Maybe you're afraid to be still, afraid of what you might hear, afraid of the emotions that might surface. But what if stillness is the key to hearing your inner voice? Try setting aside 5 minutes each day to sit in silence. No phone, no music, no distractions. Just you, your breath, and the quiet. Notice what comes up, what thoughts, what feelings, what insights. What if the answers you've been searching for are waiting for you in the stillness? If only you'd give them a chance to emerge. Let's also talk about the collective energy of this alignment, because Pisces is a sign of connection, and your intuition isn't just guiding you. It's connecting you to the collective, to the shared energy of humanity. Have you been feeling a pull to help others, to share your insights, to be a light in the darkness? Maybe you've been noticing the struggles of those around you. A friend who's going through a hard time, a stranger who looks lost, a community that needs support, and you feel a deep desire to offer comfort, to listen, to help. The North Node in Pisces is asking you to step into this role, to use your intuition to guide not just yourself, but others. What if your intuition is a gift, not just for you, but for the world? What if by trusting it, you become a beacon for those who are searching for their own light? Let's explore the dreams and visions you might be having, because Pisces energy is deeply connected to the imagination, to the world of possibilities. Have you been having daydreams lately? Visions of a life that feels more aligned with who you are? Maybe you've been imagining yourself standing on a cliff, the wind in your hair, the ocean stretching out before you, a symbol of freedom and possibility. Perhaps you've been seeing yourself in a new role, a healer, a teacher, an artist, using your gifts to make a difference. The North Node in Pisces is asking you to take these visions seriously, to see them as glimpses of your future, as possibilities that can become reality if you're willing to trust them. What visions have you been seeing? What might they be trying to tell you about your path? Finally, let's reflect on the urgency of this moment, because Mercury Retrograde and the North Node in Pisces are not just inviting you to trust your intuition, they're demanding it. This alignment is a cosmic wake-up call, a moment where the universe is asking you to listen, to act, to step into your power. What if your intuition is the key to unlocking the transformation you've been waiting for? What if by trusting it, you open the door to a life that's more aligned, more authentic, more true than anything you could have imagined? Don't wait for the fog to clear. Act now, listen now, trust now. The universe is speaking, and it's waiting for you to answer. Are you ready to listen? And then there's the past. Old connections resurfacing like ghosts in the night, haunting your thoughts, your dreams, your reality. Maybe you've been dreaming of an old friend, someone you haven't spoken to in years, their face so vivid in your mind that you wake up wondering where they are, how they're doing, what they meant to you. Perhaps someone you thought you'd left behind, an ex, a former colleague, a family member you've been estranged from, has suddenly reached out, their message popping up on your phone like a bolt from the blue. These aren't coincidences, these aren't random occurrences, they're tied to your soul's growth, orchestrated by the universe to help you heal, to learn, to evolve. The North Node in Pisces, amplified by Mercury Retrograde, is bringing unfinished business to the surface, asking you to resolve it once and for all, to tie up the loose ends of your past so you can move forward into your future. What lessons are these people bringing back into your life? Are they here to help you heal, to remind you of who you were, or to show you who you're becoming? Let's explore what these reconnections might look like, because the past can resurface in many forms, each one carrying a message if you're willing to listen. Maybe you've been thinking about a childhood friend, someone you used to spend every summer with, racing through fields of wildflowers, laughing until your sides hurt, and suddenly you find an old photo of the two of you, tucked away in a drawer you haven't opened in years. Perhaps you've been dreaming of an ex-lover, their voice echoing in your mind, their touch so real you wake up reaching for them, only to realize they're gone. Or maybe you've had a real-life encounter, someone you haven't spoken to in a decade messages you out of nowhere, saying they've been thinking of you, that they miss you, that they want to reconnect. These moments are not random. They're part of the cosmic dance of this alignment, orchestrated by the North Node in Pisces to bring you face to face with your past. What emotions do these reconnections stir in you? What memories, what lessons, what truths are they bringing to the surface? Let's talk about the concept of soul contracts, because these resurfacing connections are tied to agreements your soul made before you even entered this lifetime. Agreements to meet certain people, to experience certain lessons, to grow in specific ways. A soul contract isn't always about love or harmony. Sometimes it's about challenge, about conflict, about facing the parts of yourself you'd rather avoid. Maybe you have a soul contract with someone who's been a source of pain in your life, a parent who was critical, a partner who betrayed you, a friend who walked away when you needed them most. These relationships, as difficult as they may be, are part of your soul's journey, designed to teach you resilience, forgiveness, self-love. What if the people who've hurt you the most are also the ones who've helped you grow the most? What if these soul contracts are the key to understanding why you're here, what you're meant to learn, who you're meant to become? Let's explore how to navigate these reconnections, because while they're meaningful, they can also be challenging, stirring up emotions you thought you'd buried. When someone from your past reappears, take a moment to pause and reflect. What is this person bringing up for you? Are they triggering old wounds, feelings of rejection, abandonment, unworthiness that need to be healed? Maybe seeing an old friend reminds you of a time when you felt free, before the weight of adulthood settled on your shoulders, and you realize how much you've lost touch with that part of yourself. Perhaps hearing from an ex brings up anger, sadness, or longing, forcing you to confront the ways you've held onto that pain. The North Node in Pisces is asking you to approach these reconnections with compassion, with curiosity, with a willingness to learn. What if this person is a mirror, reflecting back the parts of you that need attention, that need healing, that need love? Let's talk about the emotional impact of these reconnections, because seeing someone from your past can stir up a whirlwind of feelings, some of which might catch you off guard. You might feel a deep sense of nostalgia, a longing for the way things used to be, for the innocence, the simplicity, the joy of that time. Maybe you're flooded with memories, late-night conversations under the stars, shared laughter over a cup of coffee, the warmth of a hug that made you feel safe. But you might also feel pain, regret, or anger, memories of arguments, of betrayal, of words left unsaid. Perhaps you're feeling a mix of both, a bittersweet ache that leaves you unsure of how to move forward. These emotions are part of the healing process, part of the clearing that this alignment is facilitating. What if these feelings are a sign that you're ready to let go, to heal, to move forward with a lighter heart? Let's also consider the lessons these reconnections might hold, because every soul contract, every resurfacing relationship, carries a message for your growth. Maybe an old friend reappears to remind you of your dreams, of the passions you've set aside in the name of practicality. Perhaps they were the one who always encouraged you to paint, to write, to chase your creative dreams, and their return is a nudge to pick up that brush or pen again. Perhaps an ex comes back into your life to teach you about boundaries, to show you how far you've come in learning to value yourself, to stand up for your worth. Or maybe a family member you've been estranged from offers a chance for forgiveness, a chance to heal a wound that's been festering for years. What lessons are these people bringing to the surface? What might they be trying to teach you about yourself, about your journey, about your path? Let's explore the energetic impact of these reconnections, because when someone from your past reappears, they bring with them the energy of that time, the energy of your shared history. You might notice that being around this person, or even thinking about them, shifts your energy in powerful ways. Maybe you feel uplifted, inspired, reminded of a version of yourself you loved, a version that was bold, carefree, full of life. But you might also feel drained, triggered, pulled back into old patterns that no longer serve you. Patterns of people-pleasing, of self-doubt, of fear. The North Node in Pisces is asking you to be mindful of this energy, to notice how these reconnections make you feel, to choose whether to engage or to set boundaries. What if this person's return is a test, a chance to see if you've learned the lessons of your past, if you're ready to move forward in a new way? Let's talk about how to heal through these reconnections, because the North Node in Pisces is all about healing, and these resurfacing relationships are an opportunity to do deep, transformative work. One powerful practice is to write a letter to this person, not to send, but to release. Pour out all your emotions, the love, the pain, the gratitude, the anger, onto the page, and then burn the letter, letting the smoke carry those feelings away. Another practice is to meditate on forgiveness, visualizing this person and sending them light, love, and understanding, even if it's hard. You might also try a cord-cutting ritual, using visualization or a physical act like cutting a string to release the energetic ties that bind you to this person, keeping only the lessons and the love. What if these practices are the key to setting yourself free, to moving forward with a heart that's open, a soul that's light? Let's also consider the role of gratitude in this process, because even the most challenging relationships have something to teach us, something to offer us. Take a moment to reflect on what this person brought into your life, even if it was painful. Maybe they taught you strength, showing you that you could survive heartbreak, betrayal, or loss. Perhaps they taught you self-love, forcing you to stand up for yourself, to value your worth, to choose yourself. Or maybe they gave you moments of joy, of connection, of laughter that you'll always cherish, even if the relationship didn't last. The North Node in Pisces is asking you to find gratitude for these experiences, to see them as part of your soul's journey, as stepping stones on your path to growth. What are you grateful for in this relationship? What gifts, what lessons, what growth did it bring you? Let's explore the dreams you might be having about these people, because Pisces rules the dream world, and Mercury Retrograde is amplifying your connection to this realm. Have you been dreaming of someone from your past lately? Their presence so vivid that you wake up feeling their energy? Maybe you dreamed of sitting with an old friend in a garden, the air thick with the scent of roses, their laughter echoing in your ears. Perhaps you dreamed of an ex, the two of you standing on a beach at sunset, the waves crashing at your feet as you said the things you never got to say in real life. These dreams are not random. They're messages from your subconscious, offering insight, healing, closure. What have you been dreaming about? What might these dreams be trying to tell you about your past, your present, your future? Let's also talk about the synchronicities you might be noticing, because Mercury Retrograde and the North Node in Pisces are amplifying these meaningful coincidences, especially when it comes to your past. Have you been seeing reminders of this person everywhere you go? Their favorite song on the radio, their name on a street sign, a photo of a place you used to visit together popping up on your social media feed? Maybe you've been thinking of them, and then you run into a mutual friend who mentions their name, or you find an old letter they wrote you, tucked away in a book you haven't opened in years. These synchronicities are the universe's way of getting your attention, of confirming that this reconnection is meaningful, that it's part of your soul's journey. What synchronicities have you been noticing? What might they be trying to tell you about this relationship? Let's consider the future implications of these reconnections, because while they're tied to your past, they're also shaping your future. The North Node in Pisces is asking you to learn from these relationships, to take the lessons they offer and use them to move forward in a new way. Maybe an old friend's return inspires you to reconnect with a part of yourself you've lost, your creativity, your sense of adventure, your belief in magic. Perhaps an ex's reappearance helps you see how much you've grown, how much stronger you are now, how much more you value yourself. Or maybe a family member's outreach offers a chance for reconciliation, a chance to build a new relationship rooted in understanding and love. What if these reconnections are a bridge, a link between your past and your future, guiding you toward the life you're meant to live? Let's also explore the energetic boundaries you might need to set, because while these reconnections are meaningful, they can also be draining if you're not careful. You might notice that being around this person, or even thinking about them, pulls you back into old patterns, old ways of being that no longer serve you. Maybe you start doubting yourself, second-guessing your worth, or you fall back into people-pleasing, trying to make them happy at the expense of your own needs. The North Node in Pisces is asking you to be mindful of your energy, to set boundaries that protect your peace, to choose relationships that lift you up rather than pull you down. What if setting boundaries is the key to honoring the lessons of your past while stepping into your future? Let's talk about the healing potential of forgiveness in these reconnections, because Pisces is a sign of healing, and forgiveness is often the path to freedom. Have you been holding on to anger, resentment, or pain from this relationship? Maybe you're still hurt by the way they treated you, the things they said, the way they left. Perhaps you're angry at yourself, regretting the way you handled things, the chances you didn't take, the words you didn't say. The North Node in Pisces is asking you to let go of that pain, to forgive, not to excuse what happened, but to free yourself from its grip. Imagine what it would feel like to release that burden, to feel light, to move forward with an open heart. What if forgiveness is the key to healing your past, to creating space for a future that's filled with love, with peace, with joy? Finally, let's reflect on the urgency of this moment, because these reconnections are happening now, in April 2025, for a reason. The North Node in Pisces is asking you to act, to heal, to learn, to grow. Don't ignore these people, these memories, these lessons. They're part of your soul's journey, part of the transformation this alignment is offering you. What if this is your chance to finally resolve the past, to let go of what's been holding you back, to step into a future that's aligned with your highest self? Don't wait for the perfect moment to do this work. The perfect moment is now. Act now, heal now, grow now. The universe is waiting for you to say yes to your evolution. Are you ready to take that step? As we emerge from the cosmic currents of Mercury Retrograde and the North Node in Pisces, the path ahead may feel uncertain, but it's also brimming with potential for transformation. This isn't a time to fear. It's a time to act, to harness this energy, and to step into your highest destiny. The universe has shaken you awake, redirected your path, and invited you to trust your intuition like never before. But you must move quickly. This energy won't wait. To stabilize yourself amidst this shift, take these steps now. Avoid crowds and overstimulating environments. They'll only drain you further. Spend time in nature. walking barefoot on the earth to recalibrate your energy. Adjust your sleep patterns. Go to bed earlier to counteract the disturbances this alignment might bring. And practice deep breathing or meditation daily, even for 5 minutes, to ground yourself in this storm. This is your moment to shine, to align with your soul's purpose. But I need to hear from you. Have you felt these shifts? Are you experiencing sleepless nights, vivid dreams, or strange synchronicities? Share your story in the comments below. Your experience could be the key to helping someone else navigate this cosmic wave. And if you're ready to stay ahead of these transformations, subscribe now and help us reach 1,000 subscribers. At Cosmic Wisdom Naturally, we're committed to guiding you through these celestial shifts with clarity and insight. Don't miss out on what's coming next. Trust the process, act with intention, and know that the universe is guiding you exactly where you need to be.